Hello and welcome to Live Coding with Gerph. We're on session 3 of the sprite renderer. So anybody know what we're doing? Because I'm just gonna try and remember. Right, let's have a look then. So we're in projects, Riscos, not build service. Where are we? We're in probably sprite render, sprite something? Sprite render, there we go. Okay, so we're in here. We've got some code. This is the code we've got. And I think if we remember rightly, we had it mostly rendering properly. Nope, that's carrot stuff. Pretty print, no. G context, come on, somewhere in my history we've got a call to, I don't know, I'll actually use G, af32.wimp templates, no, sprite. Oh, all right, what's it called then? af32 Wimp Sprite Render. Wimp Sprite Render. So somewhere in my history, I don't. Oh. Well, apparently we've lost that. Fine, doesn't matter. We'll just do another one. Oh, you're being slow. What's up with you today? Or is it me, my fingers not being good at typing? Could be my fingers. Let's just do Pyro dev common in a window. Command is af. Oh, let's run GOS and then we can run it from in there. And we'll see where we're up to. Come on, up you come. Thank you very much. All right, so there's our nice little window, and what we're going to do is we're going to run af32. What's it called? af32.wimp sprite render. There we go. Could not find. Oh, we had a magic thing that loaded the sprite pool, didn't we? Okay, let's just. We added it to the command line. Here we go. So we did command icon sprites 22, and we also want to config video.mode, make this into mode 28 so we get some decent color, or at least 256 colors anyway. Okay, try again. af32 Wimp Sprite Render. So there we go. Right, we've got, this is all the different combinations that they can have. Some of them don't make sense. The unscaled one just doesn't make sense at the moment, so it's not a big deal. We haven't got any shading and we haven't got any selections at the moment, so that's something we're going to have a look at. Not a big deal, but we need to look at it. And we also haven't tested the tiling. I realized we hadn't tested the tiling, so I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put tiling in. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. One thing that'd be easier would be, rather than launching Pyro every time, we could actually just like jump into the window each time and have a different terminal for each. So we have one for running Pyro as it is, and one for just the, what do we call it, the coding, and then we can just jump straight in and out. That's much easier. Don't tend to do that, but we can. We've got a few viewers here. Hello and good afternoon. So where's our main code? Main code, there we go. Let's make it a bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. Right, so we don't do anything special here, so we probably want to do this with some things. So let's, all of them are going to need a graphics context, that's fair enough. If argc is greater than 1, no, if it is 1, if you don't give them anything, actually we'll do it as a switch, could do it as a switch statement. Yeah, we'll do it as a switch statement, it's probably easier. Switch argc, no, I can't do a switch. Yeah, I may be a bit tired. I was up till late trying to fix the build service. I got lots of fun things working. Well, one fun thing working, that's quite a big thing. I got basic working, which is quite nice. If argc equals 1, help, exit 1. There we go. Void help, void. There we are. what else do you want to? We usually print out the syntax, don't we? So syntax is Wimp Sprite Render, and we want to do things. So we want to do matrix, which actually not a matrix because that could mean matrix rendering, which we're not doing at the moment. What is that? That is the all forms. There we go, all forms. And what's the other one we're going to do? We're going to do tile. Okay, those are the two tests we're going to have in here. So if argv brackets 1 if command, no, you can't do equals equals C code. If struct comma, what's the thing we're going to do? So on all forms, if it's all forms, test all forms. There we go. And then if struct tile, test tile. There we are. And this becomes void test all forms. Oh, we need to pass in the context to each of these, don't we? Because if you don't pass the graphics context, it won't know how to render it. So let's pass in Wimp. Is it Wimp graphics? Yeah, it's a Wimp graphics. Graphics. There we are. And then that should know how to do things. And then we do the same thing for tile, which will be the new one we're going to do. That's tile. Boom, boom, boom. And this is now nice and small. In fact, we even put a little else in there and make it nice and tight. That's better. Not that it really matters, but okay. What we want to do here is we want to draw a sprite. So let's do that. So Wimp Sprite Render. Oh, we need to get the sprite first, don't we? This is thing here, and then we can do that there. We've also got the destroy missing as well, which is interesting. Create a Wimp Sprite. Oh, I'll put the comment in afterwards as well. Actually, what we should do is not have the sprite called file f1. Oh, we need to find it. Ah, right. Okay, so we need this bit as well. Oh, we need all of this bit. Yeah. Maybe we should have that as a call. That would be better, wouldn't it? Sprite t. Yeah, sprite t star sprite. Sprite equals find sprite. File I want to go there. And all of these are sprite t star find sprite and const char star there, which we can then put in here. Boop, boop, boop. Copy that section, and if we couldn't find it, we die. Yep, that looks good to me. Oh no, that needs to go in there. Oh, I've copied too much there, haven't I? It's this much here. Actually, that debug can go in here as well, can't it? So sprite. There we are. Right, find sprite. And now that means that this section here can just come in to here. Use that. Oh, we're going to need to move these around. Actually, I can put that in the heading. Oh, message. I'm quite quiet, says Talia. Okay, let me see if we can improve that. I am also muttering, so let me see if that is that any better. Are we good with that? Hopefully that's a little bit better. See if we've got any volume on this. Turn it up a bit more. Yeah, we are a little bit more on that. Yeah, we're getting up to the quite high point there. Well, if you still think I'm a bit quiet, then let me know. I've put the microphone a bit closer to me now, so hopefully that'll do the job. I wonder if there's a better place for it to go. Not really sure. I can move it up to there. If I put it there, it's visible now. I was trying to keep it invisible and not spoil the illusion. Spoil the illusion. Dum dum dum. Yeah. If I put it too close, I end up touching the keyboard and getting in the way of my mouse. If I put it in the. If I put this over here, then this is a better place for things because I can actually see the chat being down here rather than being over there. Maybe that's better. I'll put that there. Right. This is the new position. We'll see if it's visible. Oh, look, you can just about see it. You can just see it coming into shot. Do I want it? Let me just put it. No. Sorry if this is a bit noisy. I'm just readjusting the microphone position in the guard. There we are. Probably don't need the guard so much anyway. Hot guard probably isn't really that necessary. Dunno. Hopefully that's a bit better for you, and I can see the chat a bit better. Not that anybody's saying anything, or maybe my chat isn't working. Hello, people. Could be that they're busy and just listening to me, or they just don't care. I mean, that's also quite fair. I don't mind. I'm only here to do the fun things. This is called tile 1, and we don't want it. Oh, actually, what I'll do is I'll copy all of these. Talia says we're chatting a lot. Huh, interesting. I see no chat. Let me reload the page. Of course, Talia could be being sarcastic and saying we're chatting a lot. We're chatting a lot, you know. Yeah, there's loads going on and I can't see a thing. How weird is that? Oh, Google. See, I couldn't even see anybody. Oh, thank you very much. See, if I'd just assumed nobody was caring. Which, I mean, I'm fine with, but kind of fine. Right, so let me just see what we've got down here. Everybody says they found it very quiet. That was partly because I was muttering, but also I've moved it higher. I can't. Yeah, so I've got on here. It's no, it's on full. Can I, if I select this, I'll do that. Ah, you can do a volume boost. I'm doing a volume boost by 6 decibels. How's that? Is that better? Are we like able to be heard and stuff? And Alan says we are always here, watching, listening, observing. Right, okay, so all right, we've got that done there. So I've got mic in a different place, volume pushed up to the top. Actually, I pushed this volume to the top as well. Well, hopefully it'll. I don't like having the volume right at the top on the actual mic because it means I've got nowhere else to go if I need to. Okay, well, no problem. Let us get moving. If we've got the sound working, then I mean it's only been. Ooh, what are we doing? It's about 2 years I've been doing this now, isn't it? It might even be longer than 2 years. Oh my gosh. And we're still trying to sort out tech issues. I should stand back and take a picture of everything so I can restore it back to exactly as it was. Right, okay. So, sorry it was a bit quiet. Hopefully we'll be doing better this time. Dave's got an icon for that. I don't think we can paste pictures in here. Oh, that's going to pop us all the way over here, isn't it? Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can find turning it up to 11. I think Dave posted it in general. Yeah, searching for things in a chat whilst people are chatting. Not great. Alright, if I can't find it in a minute, then we're going to be... It's on his Instagram too. Yeah, somebody else will have to find it on Instagram. I don't know where that is. No, I can't see it in there. It's maybe in random. Or was it in Artworks? It'll probably be in Artworks because that's where you put artworks. No, it's not. We've only got Roger Rabbit in there. Very cool Roger Rabbit though. Fixing the build service is code for hard partying. Yeah. Sorry. Talia sent me a screenshot with that section ringed and pointing out that she's away. Does make me seem like I'm just like, oh yes, when Talia's away, I'm the wild person who goes and codes all night. I mean, that's not fair. That's really, really not fair. Because when she's here, I code all night as well. Artworks, right? We have an artwork. Here we are. Turn it up to 11. And in just to show off Dave's further work, very cool. Oh, that's not his. That one's not his. Sorry, that's the original one. That's his. Come on, pop it up. Because Dave's a cunning artist. So, anybody wanting any Oi! Talia says, newlyweds. And then, Anyway, Talia's been feeling a lot better recently, so she's been mocking me a lot more, and I love it. I think it's wonderful. It's really nice to have a good degree of humor in life. Anyway, I've forgotten what I was doing. So yes, we have turning things up to 11. We've got the volume working, and we're trying to do a tile. There we go. So we've got tile, and then destroy it. Right, so we need to destroy as well, but we've got the tile. So in theory, this should now build. Let's just see if it will, shall we? Yeah, permission from the channel for Talia to carry on mocking me. That didn't work. Oh, because I didn't copy the right bit. I was in the middle of copying stuff, wasn't I? Ooh, matron. I don't think I got that voice right, but yeah. Tiles. Oh, yeah, we'll just do this. Everything to false. And then, oh, I need to include string as well. String.h. Right, how's this look? Oh, I've got some other type def used in expression concept. What? 88. Have I gone and put it in the middle? I'll put it in the middle of something, haven't I? Ooh, oh, I probably didn't include std bool, that's why. Oh dear. I think actually I need to go and clean my glasses. They're giving me a headache already. Let's have a see, shall we? Oh my gosh! Well, all right. That's why they're not working so well at the moment. It does help when you can see. I'm not covered in fingerprints and where you fell asleep last night with your glasses on. I didn't fall asleep with my glasses on last night. I did remember to take them off. Spanner says, "No wonder you couldn't see the chat." Yeah. Right. Okay. Oh. Let's see if we can get somewhere, shall we? And seriously, I will try doing using express. I still haven't done that one right. 89. Oh yeah, because that should have been copied up here. We can lose that then. What else is it complaining about? I think that's just the... Oh, and these are... I'm not passing graphics through to them. Graphics. There we go. Righty. Oh, this is much more comfortable having the chat right below. Why didn't I do this before? That's plainly stupid. Inventing I. 93. Oh, because this is wrong. I just want to... Rather than trying to put it in particular places, because it doesn't matter where you put it. You can just... Oh, but you have to put it somewhere. 480 will do, yeah. There we go. As long as you put it somewhere, that's good enough. Oh, and I've moved this off the screen so you can't see the... And there we go, that's better. We built. All right. So now we can run it again. And it now gives us different errors because it's now waiting for that. So we want all forms. We'll do this one, which you can't see because obviously it's putting it over the top, but we can do tile as well. Tile 1 does not exist in the sprite pool. What? Surely it's called tile 1. Oh, thank you. I've had a sponsorship as an extra. That's very nice. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. It has been incredibly helpful in getting things working in the past couple of months, actually. Really, really appreciated. I mean, I'm not really not doing it for the money, but it gives us a little bit of extra encouragement and stuff. So icons. Oh, tile 1R and tile MR. Ah, this is the rescalable version, isn't it? We don't have a tile 1. Interesting. Well, in which case, we'll just use that one. It's fine. And then there we go. Oh, yeah, you have to compile the code as well. Mr. Tile, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Tile. It's Mr. Plow, isn't it? For on like season 1 Simpsons or something. Well, that was a really unimpressive tile. It did not work. I'm glad we got I got that right. That's very sad of me. Okay, so let's have a look then. Hang on, have I actually implemented tiling? It's possible that I haven't implemented tiling and that's why it's not working. Which is fair. Oh, also, if I do the CI, we need to actually call both of them, don't not in that CI file, we need to call it in the row build. Because we need to do all forms. And if we should screen save all forms as a PNG, as a native PNG. And what's the other one we need to do? Oh, it's tile, wasn't it? And then, oh, we probably want to clear the screen in between the two. Echo 12, clear, that's clear the screen. Oh, I probably also want to make sure we're in mode 28. echo 2228. I'll change mode to mode 28. Clear screen, and then we'll do another one, which is the tile. Probably want to print out the all forms thing so we know which bit it crashed on when it fails. If it fails, so if it fails. Okay, so there we go. Now when we run that, that should do the right thing there, hopefully. Spanner says, was that donation for 2.5 million by any chance? By the way, sorry, not by any chance. I was paraphrasing. Right, and then I need to know why we're not actually rendering, don't I? So have a look in Wimp Sprite here. Oh, that's the Wimp Sprite implementation. There's a clipping. Okay, we've got to handle that yet. Creating the sprite, getting the size. Render is tiled, goes into sprite tile, which goes into sprite tile. I think I may see where the problem lies. Oh, seriously, this is very, very generous. So the Viscos Tech was saying how much they donated, and you do not need to say amounts. I try and not do that, but you are very, very generous, and that is really appreciated. And I feel like I'm turning into a Twitch stream here. Oh, we got little thingies, haven't we? We can do. Oh, I can do that as well. Oh. Oh, things that make me happy. I'm easily amused. Laughs. What's that one? I'm not sure what that's meant to be. It looks sort of depressed. There's 100, but there's I don't know what the depressed one is. Ooh, can you hold them down? No, you can't. You just get one. Anyway, yes, really appreciate your time. For those of you who are just watching the stream, I was playing with the little heart button to respond to things. It pops things up, and other people were doing the same. Well, I'm assuming they were because I saw other things when I wasn't clicking. It's fun. It's fun. Right. Tile isn't implemented. That's why it doesn't work. Which is as it goes, a pretty good reason. I mean, we can't really complain about that, can we? So somewhere around here we have the code that did this, because I had some code that did tiling, didn't I? Ah, yes, here it is. The code that was in Sprite Extends does. Oh, and hang on, didn't I copy it? Yes, here it is. I did copy that code. So if we have a look at that code. This is tile sprite that calls the tile call, and if the tile call fails, it then goes and does it by hand. Okay. So let's have a look at the tile call here. Are we building this in? Is this actually already in the code? It's not, so probably this won't work either. So let's add it into there so it'll actually build, and then we can see what happens. Yeah, that doesn't work. Moldiv wouldn't open. For now, I think we'll just. I'll get a fake Moldiv just for now in here, and then we'll put the library in later. Define Moldiv. Actually, how is Moldiv defined? this times this divided by this. Value mult div. So the answer is value times mult divided by div, like that, which will overflow in some cases, but that's why the muldiv header exists rather. Okay. So what else were we having problems with? Oh yeah, the bounds. We didn't have bounds in here, so that's actually in. I thought it was in G context. There's no x naught. Maybe bounds in G context isn't actually. How does G context do it? Yeah. Nope, that's Riscos tests. G context header. Bounds has a width and a height, and bbox has the x and the y. So all of the uses of bounds should probably be bbox. Okay, bounds t should become a bbox. There we go. Build that. We still haven't got a tile render func, and cast between function pointer and non-function objects. We haven't got it, and error flags declared but not used at 237. 237. So we can very quickly just get rid of that one. Error flags. Ooh, lots of code in here. Error flags, right? It's saying it's not included, right? Okay. So tile func. Tile func. Sorry, it was called tile underscore render func. If we're not a test, then tile render. If we're not a test, then tile render is that. Oh no, if we're not a rest, then tile render becomes that. Actually, that just wants to go away, doesn't it? Because that is the function we want to call. Woohoo. Okay, so that's the tile. Now we need to have a prototype for it. So let's go and create a new file called tile and copy that. Yeah, the only one we care about is this render data. Hang on a second. Enjoy your tea. Lunch. There we go. Okie dokie. Right, so this is a render data structure that we need to handle in here. Is this just passed around internally? It's just passed around internally. That's not a problem then. So the bit we're caring about is this one. This is the external call function. I don't want to break. All right, okay. Let's set the break for an hour, please, and then I'll be able to do this. So that's the other thing Natalia is not around. I don't always take my breaks at sensible times, so the break timer is very useful. Tile, right, you go in there. We need this one. Do we need all these as well? Don't think we do, because we've got Justin Fletcher. Fair enough. It's written that long ago. Both variables, don't need that in the header here. Don't muldiv. We do need we need scale, not G context. And we need kernel because we need the kernel loss error. Right. Sorry, I missed the what do I call it? The messages. Once you get 1,000 subs, you can get donations on YouTube. Yeah, I got a long way to go with that. Have you got the sprite op tiling op to use? Yes, I'm going to use the tiling op and then fall back. So that's the plan. I still haven't got. Don't use that. I hear the Maldives are lovely this time of year, says Dave. And Talia's gone off. Yes, yes, she's got lunch with her daughter. So nice. Include. Yes, I got a typo in there. Right, is that the only external interface we need? I think it is. And actually, to make it consistent, yeah, well, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll make this, because there's a tile call in here, isn't there? Is that the same? I think it's about the same. No, something different. Sprite area sprite. Yeah, we don't pass in the sprite area, so we don't care about that. I'll just make these one interface to the other because I'm rather than reworking them, and they can be removed later. It's going to be a tiny overhead of an extra call, but this will just make it a bit easier. Ooh. Yeah, it's time for the drugs. Ibuprofen. My head is sore. And Dave's pointed out the header guard missing as well. I'll go and have a look at that in a second. Flags. I'm not sure what flags is. Put 0 for that. Void star 256. Sprite is the sprite. X and Y are X0 and Y0. Action is plot action. Scale. Oh, we're passing it as why are we passing it by value rather than by reference? That's weird, isn't it? Well, okay, we'll just do that. And then pixtrans. There's a pixtrans there. Okay. Dave says drugs. She's only been away 5 minutes. And Andrew's saying about coding with a sore head. I'm usually coding coding with a sore head. My head is headaches are kind of common, unfortunately. But yeah, depends on how sore it gets. It's rare to have the same sort of thing that Talia has, where you have to go and sit in a dark room for a few hours. I'm really grateful for that. I don't really want to have nasty headaches. Right, let's include tile. And the other bit there was what Dave said, which was the header guards in here. So if nadef tile h, define tile h. There we go. Oh, I've just included 2f and ifs. That's stupid. Oh, Dave says his lady gets the migraines as well. Horrible things, really horrible. Well, Talia usually lives with me. She just happens to be going away. Oh, right. Dave says she lives with me, which might explain it. Oh, I'm sure you're not that bad. I was trying to think of something that I can go, well, I'm pretty terrible, but maybe that's the thing. Don't get them anymore since you've been on special meds. Well, fair enough. My special meds don't help with the headaches, sadly. I'm getting confused now. Illegal types for operands, unary star. Was that the star I stuffed in for the scale? It was. Ah, because it should be ampersand. We're all getting a bit old. We need a little bit of extra help. Oh, look at that! It compiled and linked. Sorry, compiled and linked. Okay, so since it's compiled and linked, let us have a quick look and see what we've got. Tile. We got a crash. That didn't work. Invalid sprite area address 100. Oh, that's because I've worked out what flags means. Flags is the flags to include on the sprite op call. Did I compile that? I did compile that. Yeah, and it still breaks. It still gives me the error. Invalid sprite area 100. 256, that is, sorry. Interesting. I thought 256 meant it's fine. Because we're passing in a sprite, not a sprite. Let's go into tile. In here. Sprite op. Oh, flags tile is sprite op is point. Oh. How did that work? Oh, because it's here. Okay, so let's move that into here. So that's the flags we should be using. And then we go into, hash include tile as well. Tile H. And then back in sprite again, we don't use that flags as being long like this one here. It should be tile sprite is pointer. Okay. Build. Whoa. And let's try again. Come on, pop that to the front. Thank you. Go. Oh! Yeah, so we've got sprite pointers and sprites. So all of the things that I'm dealing with inside the sprite and Wimp Sprite is all going to be pointers, and there'll be a call to find the sprites because we're going to need to go through our sprite pool or look it up in the user sprite pool. So that's why I'm passing around sprite pointers all the time. Random question is, and alpha sprites and transparency all just going to work as well? Probably. I mean, the alpha sprites should be okay, but we'll need to test them. And transparency, well, no code in there for transparency yet. Actually, that was a very good point. That was slow to render, wasn't it? That was slow to render. Echo 12. Let's clear the screen again. I think that went through the slow render path. Should we have a look? What we'll do is we'll go into the tile code and we'll have a see what we're actually doing. Oh, in fact, one of the easiest things here is to go turn on the debug, because that's what debug's for. I need the dprintfs here. All of these dprintfs will have been commented out because it's running in the Wimp, and when it's in the Wimp, it doesn't have the printf functions. No, yeah, the Wimp. That's right. Yeah, no, sprite extend, not the Wimp. Sorry. Some of them are. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a thing. Let's give it a whirl though. All right. So compile. Can I build with the in here? Can I do this build? I can. Oh, right. Okay, so we won't be jumping back to the build window. We can just run it here. Yeah, so that failed. So sprite is blind mode. Tiling there. Why didn't you actually call? Oh, this is because this is the fallback routine. This is read the size. So actually I should be okay. We'll do it the other way then. So here's the actual call that does a render like this. What we'll do is we'll do kernel os error star equals Wimp Sprite op. Right, so the sprite op is, yeah, I don't know. I've got no blooming clue what the sprite operation is, nor where it lives. Viscos kitten secorn viscos.h.sprite. Okay, and it's called tile sprite scaled. There we are. Do we have a code for 200 in here? No, we don't. That's just silly. We should really do that. There's so many bits in here that are just as it's ancient, and I probably need to pinch bits from what do I call it? On the plus side, I mean that rendered. I mean, I shouldn't knock the fact that it went and did the rendering using the slow mechanism, but it did it. Right, so this plot's like tile sprite scaled, and we are doing OX 200 for that. Sprite area is OX 100, the magic number. Sprite pointer is this one, sprite. X position, Y position. Now these have got to be twiddled for the in the sprite extend because it only handles them as, oh, that wasn't right. It only handles them as internal coordinates. Action is plot action. Oh yeah, so plot action is the bit where you'd have things like the transparency turning up. So that would turn up in the plot action. Scale is ampersand scale, and pixtrans is pixtrans. And only if we returned an error do we go into the slow routine. Okay, and finally we return an error there. Okay. Okay, actually we should really only have a single exit point so that it's nice and clean. There we are. Can reason more easily about it. Build. Okay. There you are. Let's do the, oh, go back to this one. Right, clear the screen again. Tile. There we go. That was nice and fast, wasn't it? And it didn't print out all that debug. So, yay. Now, does Pyromaniac support turning the tiling operation on and off so we can make it error? I don't know. Let's have a see. Pyromaniac config. Oh, sprite? No, it's not called sprite. So many different things. Is it graphics sprite or something? Graphics Cairo. Sprite op. That's probably a good bet then. Empty transform and support plot. Okay, so we can't currently turn off the tiling operation, which would be a really useful thing to do, because then we could see the effects of running it on an old operating system. So let us very quickly divert ourselves to adding that code, because there's nothing we like more than a little diversion. Yeah, so let's new terminal, ctl/projects riscos pyromaniac, and we'll pull the code up. Actually, let me not pull up all the code. Let me just pull up the code for just the riscos section, because it's huge otherwise. Right, so we want the graphics code. So here we are, graphics, configuration. This is the plain graphics configuration. Do we have sprite op in here? Oh, it's not. That's annoying. Where will it live? Hello, Mavlondits. You're a 16-year-old programmer. Can I review? What do you want reviewing? If you want something to review, then feel free to pass it on. We may have a look at it. But this is a coding session just for my coding, I'm afraid. I wonder if we could, yeah, it might be interesting to actually do a general review of other people's things. I guess that's a riscos coding thing. Anyway, let me get back to doing this. Grep for sprite op in riscos. So, sprite op was a bad term, wasn't it? I'm looking for something that's the configuration. Oh, I have configuration. Grep configuration. Oh, it is in there. Sprite op config. Why didn't that find it then? Sprite op config. Oh, because it's in a different file. So it's os sprite op config. Os sprite op. There's the file. Okay, here we are. So support plot and support tile seems like a sensible choice here. So these are configuration structures. So these define what the configuration options are for the Pyromaniac interface. So I want support tile configures whether. Oh, actually, we'll do it the same way. How tiling is supported by the sprite system. 8813 values, yes, plotting is supported. Error when a tile call is made. And ignore the tile call. That sounds pretty good as well. So we need to add it to the different types so it knows what it is. Again, it's got the same enumerated values. Tile, and by default, we want to support tiling. So now we need to go into the rest of the sprite op code so that we know where tiling is. Plot. Ooh. Plot tiled sprite. This is documented incorrectly here because this is not. Oh, put sprite. It should be tiled here, shouldn't it? It should say. Okay. All of those are exactly the same. First, we check the plot to see if there's any plot operations, and then we check the tile. And we do tiling sprites is disabled. There we go. And then it calls tile missing transformed plot call. Fair enough. Do we not do transform plot? Isn't that transformed there? Put sprite transformed. That looks like we've got it there. Delete that. Okay, here we go. So that's now implemented in Pyro. So if we go back over to here, I'm going to have to exit this and come back in again. So to do that, we run it again. Actually, what we'll do is pyrodev config list config sprite op. There we go. It's now coming up as there, and we also do help sprite op as well, so you can actually see the full message that tells you how they work. Support tile. Right, there we go. So now we're going to fire it up again. Dum dum dum. There we go. And then if we run the program here, so here we go. Here's the tiling, really quick. Clear the screen. Pyromaniac config os sprite op dot support tile equals error. Oh, it wasn't os sprite op, it was just sprite op, sorry. There we go. Now it's set to do an error. So if it'll generate an error when the tile call is made, so it should then fall back to using the non-accelerated version, which it did. Excellent. It's nice when things work. Support, oh sorry, not that, that one. Turn it on again. No. Turn it on again and then not yes. Oh, we should print an error when that happens. There we go, tiles accelerated. Wonderful. There we go, that's Pyromaniac fixed. Let's just commit that code. Just, or if I need to commit it, I need to actually run the tests. Make tests, test equals invocation tests. This will take a little while, so I'll just leave that one running in the background. Thank you. So the test basically will check many things, and one of the things that it checks is that the configuration appears in the configuration list, and it will show us the configuration is now present. And we basically use gold masters to check that the output is coming out as expected. The whole reason for doing that is because if I accidentally disable a whole section of the code, it gets picked up by the testing. There we go, there's the example, and if we scroll back up here we'll see where it was. So many configuration options. Hang on, is it down here? They are, because they're alphabetical, aren't they? Here we go. Sprite op. There we go, support tile. So that's the tests running. Lots and lots and lots of tests. This is just the invocation tests. And because it runs Pyromaniac every single time, it does end up taking a little while to run. Fortunately, it's largely I do run them locally to make sure that they're okay, and then it gets checked by the CI system to make sure it's running correctly there as well. Which was a massive improvement, help when I was converting it. So I did the Python 3 conversion of Pyromaniac a couple of weekends ago, and having all of the tests there meant that we could check against what it should be doing after the code had been converted, whether it was crashing, whether it was working, whether it had the right output, and so on. So it's really, really vital that there be tests for any complex system, which is what Riscos Pyromaniac has, and it is a complex system. Is this nearly finished? I don't know. I was just kind of talking over it and hoping that it would finish whilst I was talking. Oh, it did. Good. So rename those files in there. If we have a look now. Okay. Oh no. Those, yeah. So it's not a lot of change. Just the tile configuration of that help. A slight change to the sprite op code, and we remove that because it does have a transformed call, and That's our lot in the diffs. Cool. Commit minus A. What do we do? Oh, actually, yeah, this is a good point. So I didn't just do that. Make change. I also need to update the change list. Changed. Tiled sprites can now be configured to error or be ignored. Not tiled sprites. Tiled sprite plotting. There we go. Now we can commit that. And support for the sprite op support tile configuration. Can now disable the sprite tiling so that we can test behavior as if it was a select one. I think it's select one system. Okay. I won't push that because if I push that, it will go and kick off all the tests and they'll run on my machine and make it very slow. So I shan't do that. But we can go back to here and we can actually do some work. So yes, we've now finished this, haven't we? So this is now working. Add h/tile. Add support for rendering tiles. We can now render the tiled sprites both with the accelerated 1L and manual operations. How do you use WordNet? Wow, I haven't used WordNet in so long. I haven't even got it in my history. Did I miss the word plotting? How do you use this thing? I thought it was over to do that. Mine is over and then the sentences and the word. Accelerate. Invalid search option. Fine. Yes, that's how you spell it. Thank you. I'm confused. I don't know how to use WordNet anymore. Oh, because it's the other way around. It's the other way around. That's why I just didn't read the help. Thank you. All right. I know how to use my tools. Right, and also somebody suggested the word plotting, so let's just amend that. Just check that we've actually. Yeah, manual plotting. Is that what you're meaning? Yeah, fine. It'll do. Okay, so that's good. Status. Push that, and let's see whether the tests pass. Because I think we updated them so that they should do the right thing. Oh, and then I screenshotted it, but I don't know if we transferred it back. I probably didn't transfer the files back, did I? Can I? Oh, that's Pyro. I don't want that. Put it over there. Wimp Sprite Render. What do we return? We return the install directory. So really, I should have done this as install dot, so that we get the images coming out. Git commit minus a amend. The CI should save the images as well. Check. hand. It's not automated testing, but at least it's something. At the moment, we just want to know that it doesn't crash, really. All right, so let's go check that. Watch it run. Yeah, I need to fix that. It's irritating me. And upload artifacts. If we go to the summary, we should see the archive built. There we go. Which will now download, and we can open it. Is this going to change screens for me? There we are. Oh, right. That's the bit we created. Come on. Oh, so many bits. Tile PNG. That's what we expected it to look like. And all sprite render. Oh, I didn't give that a PNG. Oh, oh no, because it's not that one I want. That's the module. This is the one we want here, isn't it? Yeah, both of those are working fine. Excellent. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and take a short break because I need some more tea and I need to pop to the loo. I'll take a short break and I'll be back and we'll attack the shading and the, what's the other bit called? Selections. Yeah, we'll do that. So be about 10 minutes whilst I grab some bits, and hopefully we'll be keeping our numbers. Got 7 people watching. Woo! Yeah. All right. See you all in a little bit. Sorry, it's a little bit early for my break this time, but we've come to a nice, convenient stop point. All right. See you in a bit. Hello, back now. Oh, I'm coughing. Do the spinny Gerph. I don't know what the spinny Gerph is. Right. Sorry, I am back. And we're doing, yes, we're doing shading and what's the other one? Shading and something else. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Artworks. Here we go. We just have to show off Dave art. A bit bigger. There we go. Spinny Gerph. Copy link. There we go. Yes. We also do random promotion of other things as well. Fun. I'm not putting that as my break title. It's very cool, but it's not sure it's quite the right sort of thing there. Tinting. Yes, let's go and do some tinting. So, first thing I'm going to do, excuse me, is find the code in Pyro which does it. It is very, very cool though. Yes, I do like the little neon thing. Right, so Wimp graphics. Is it in graphics? Probably in graphics. Selected. Right, so here's the sprite calls. Here's selected. Yeah. So, right, here we go. Yes, so we had some bits that do color map functions, and they pass things into the functions for selections, shaded, and background color. My camera's frozen apparently. Do I need to just disconnect it or turn it off and on again? Let's have a go. Select the camera. Hello, other camera. Hello, decent camera. See, decent camera is decent, but decent camera does tend to pop out every now and then. I don't know why. Anyway. Yeah, so we were looking for these. So what we've got here is a function that we call that does the. We set up the function so that it can call these things. Oh right, so we actually have a color map thing. Okay, let's implement it in that sort of way then. I think. Yeah. Okay. I need to find things, don't I? Yeah, my head is now getting a little bit tired, but this is not a problem because we have tea, and that always solves problems. So where's color map gone? It's a color map object, which is the resource color map. And the resource color map, well, presumably it must live in the Wimp somewhere. Wimp color. There's the text color, set palette. Palette info. How about sprite op? No, that's allowing certain sprite ops to be called and not others. Window icons maybe. Color map. All right, we'll just grep for it then. Fine. Grep for color map. That'll probably be capitalized, won't it? Inside Riscos. Oh, recursively. Color map resource. Wimp color map. Did I not see that? Wimp. Oh, this is the SWI interface, not the module interface. So it's in, yeah, PyMods core Wimp. Color map. Could have just searched for that, couldn't I? There we go, there's color map. Yeah. How's that? It sets up a color map descriptor and then sets up the functions, which are our py calls. Yeah, which we don't have py calls like that in here, but we can do this. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to implement it that way, but I am going to do it through a mapping function that will return as a color map descriptor. I think that's the right way to do it. So let's do that. Let us have a color map file. Ooh, my fingers are in the wrong place. Color map. Set up color mapping table functions for transformed images. Right. So let's think about how we do this. We'll do a bool just to say whether we succeeded or not. No, we'll return the object. We'll return an object that is a color map, and we'll create a color map which is going to be type def struct color map s, and it contains a void star that is the function, and it contains a private word, a void star which is the private word, and that's it. Color map descriptor. Yeah, that looks okay to me. Right, and then we'll have a color map descriptor t star color map. So we want to do different mappings. So we'll create one that is a color mapping for. I'm not sure actually. Yeah. Nah, it's fine. I know how to do this. We know how to do it. We'll just have it. We'll set it up in the same way that the Python code is set up, with selected, shaded, and background color. So this is going to be a basic sort of color mapping function. Bool is selected. Bool is shaded. Color t background color. Now we should also handle, we probably also need to handle the tinting operator as well, but we don't at the moment, so that's fine. We can just add that on later. And of course you might want to tint things like the toolbars as well in a different way. So toolbars currently have their own color map handling inside the Wimp, not in the classic Wimp, because the title bar is manipulated to change its color from a gray scale to a color scale, which is actually quite clever. But in theory, the whole thing could be done that way. There's a lot of things we could do quite nicely, but again, we just need to get something working, and then we can worry about it. So I'm just gonna do this as a single color map descriptor at a time. There can only be one, just because it's easier that way. So type def struct color map params, just for now, because again this can also change in the future. Bool is selected, bool is shaded, color T, background color, and then we have color map params. I remember Wasp had a lot more fancy things, didn't it? So Dave said you tickled his memories of Wasp's effect system. Wasp was the underlying rendering system used by Pixel's rendering engine applications. All of the stuff that went to the screen went through Wasp. Did it stand for anything? I don't think I ever knew whether it did. Thing is the right term, says Dave. Oh, one thing I changed last week, which is still present at the moment, is the YouTube channel is on low latency. Wasp shape processor. Oh, very recursive, very nice. So I changed the latency on the stream to be low rather than ultra low, and that means that the delay between my doing something, saying something, whatever, can be up to about 10 seconds rather than 2 or 3 seconds. And I did that because people had complained about occasionally getting buffering, and that's a fact of the way that YouTube does the streaming, and potentially the fact that my stream is not my upstream is not great. It's decent but not wonderful. And of course I'm running it on the same machine that I'm developing on, and I've got 4 monitors, and I'm viewing the video myself, and it's a 8-year-old Mac, so yeah, there you go. Right, then we want to return a color map descriptor. Now, well, since we're doing this as a color map descriptor, we can actually just return it into a static descriptor. And Dave says he's not seen the max headroom stuttering this week, so it seems good. This is good. I'm glad it's actually had a positive effect. That's at least something I can feel better about. Right. So actually, my color map descriptor here. If I'm clever, you see, I can actually include my color map parameters after it. So then I don't even have to define the parameters there. I can just put them in descriptor, and then when we change this to be a descriptor that is generalized, we can have different ones. Oh, this is actually quite cool, isn't it? Descriptor dot params. Yep, that's right. Same again. Yep, there we go. And then we return the descriptor. I also want to set the descriptor dot private word equals. Oh, we don't know the module private word here. Yeah, a bit of evil. Extern void star module PW. There we go. Equals module private word, and descriptor func equals color map entry. And generally, I also actually do it as color map entry. So anything that ends up in the CMHG file ends up having these functions described this way. Now, you'll notice that we're not actually in a module at the moment. So because we're not in a module, we're going to need to do a little bit of jiggery pokery to make it look like we're in a module. It's not a big deal. It's just there isn't a way to have created essentially a generic veneer. I didn't want that for an application. It's just there isn't a way of doing that. So what we'll do is just create a little bit of a stub in here. New file called color map user shim. Try and remember how to write assembler code. Area C $code. It's code and it's read only. End. Okay. Oops. Color map entry. We need to export that. Export color map entry. And the things we want to do is stmfd stack pointer R1 through to R3 R10 no 9 R10 is the stack limit, R11 is the frame pointer, R12 is the scratch register. So R10 to R12. Oh, and the link register as well, so we can return. Right, so that's our entry. Here's our exit. Going back there. Clear the V flag so that we don't return an error. Color map entry. Right, so what we want to do is we want to set up of R10 comma number 0. Oh no, not number 0, sorry. Oh, what should R10 be? Stack limit. We're in an application, in a module. No, we're not in a module. We'll be called on the SVC stack. And because we're called on the SVC stack, we need to do them, the nasty bits, don't we? I don't want to do this. This is ugly. I can't remember how you do it. Is actually the answer. Right. Frame pointer is 0. User code entered in SVC. Right, R12 is coming in with the module private word. Which is not relevant. We don't care. Morv R10 comma number comma LSR SP kilobytes megabytes. Megabyte align the step limit, move it back again. LSR by 20. And then let's add something to it. R10, R10 number. It's got a blooming symbol. I can't remember. Oh no, can't do it. Okay, subler tel/projects not dot files viscos build. Sorry, commands. Cmunge. Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, write file, please. Find me the generic veneer. All right, find me the word generic, and there we go, there's the generics. No, not the 64-bit code, please, because I'll have to potentially do this for 64-bit as well. Not 64-bit art, because that's the stacks. Switch into user mass, fine. Here we are, there's a bit. LSR20, LSL20 to put it back again. Is that what I did? Nope, I did it the wrong way. LSR, LSL. I know what I want to do, I just can't necessarily do it. Load the two values from the base of the stack. And load the value of the module private word. Actually, why not just copy this? That would be easier, wouldn't it? Add lib relic. That's the magic I want there. Right. Here we are. Yes, I realise that there are few people who actually would know how to handle this sort of entry sequence. Which is all the more reason why it shouldn't be this hard to get callbacks and things, but then you're calling back from supervisor mode into user mode, which is probably not something you should be doing in the first place. I'm really only doing this so that we've got access to this system. Always seems like voodoo to me, yeah. I'm only doing this so that we can actually run it, access to the code, whilst we're in user mode for majority of the things we're doing. That's it, we've already done the R11 thing. And we just need to do the add lib relook, which is the... I need to find what that is. Oh, come on. Come on, keep going back. Oh, no, I'm a bit far. This is the equivalent to... That is exactly what I want. Oh, except I think we've got to specify it like this. We can't do it any other way. Oops, no, not. I deleted too much there. I meant that bit, didn't I? Right, so that's the entry sequence done. Oh, I probably should leave that comment in there, shouldn't I? Because that's actually quite descriptive and tells me what's going on. There we go. That should help us. And then I need to do the exit. So go back to generics again, because we need to undo what we've just done in the return code. Let's pull it over here. Entry sequence. Yeah, I've been working on this quite a lot recently as I've been adding the 64-bit stuff, and it is quite hairy. That's the restore, isn't it? If it's not 64-bit, then do that. That's the one. Okay. And restore R. I don't think R14 is relevant there. Okay, let's put that in. Fake entry for SVC mode. And entry sequence. restore exit sequence, end exit sequence. So we want the sub one, and then we want this thing that just goes and stores those values there in R10. How can it be R10? Because we've surely R10's been oh no, it's the base. That's the base of the stack, isn't it? Base of the stack plus whatever after the relocation. So the sub lib reloc one, which is somewhere back up at the top of the file. Whoops, went too far. There, that one there. This sequence is the equivalent of that. Oh, yep, this makes my head hurt, but should be good. And then branch with link to color map transform. There we go. The actual C call. Oh dear gosh. It's a bit painful, that, isn't it? Import. Yum, yum, yum. I think that looks right. So we come in here. Color maps always come in with R0 equals the ampersand PBGGRR00 that you want to transform, and they exit with R0 equals the transformed color. There we are. This is kind of horrid, isn't it? And this is only going to work in the 32-bit version, but that's also okay because we won't be using this in the 64-bit version. We'll be using the module version, I suspect. We might do. I might go and buy a 64-bit version. We'll have a see. Oh my lord, that's hard. Right, color map. Oh, we probably should have a file for that, shouldn't we? New file. Actually, we'll put it on all in this file. It'll be easier rather than having multiple of them. Color map descriptor. Yeah, actually what we want here is this to be just a struct and have the type def defined in the header in here. Def color map page, define color map page. Color map descriptor is a type def struct color map descriptor t. There we go. And this function here is create, oh no, color map setup. Create us a color map descriptor for the, oh no, oh no, oh no, I actually do need to expose it. Oh, that's irritating. All right, yeah, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, yeah, all right. I'm getting myself tied in little knots here, aren't I? Because I'm not quite thinking straight, and so I'm making silly mistakes. But hey ho. So now the color map params needs to also be defined in there. can't define it in there because that would be exposing the innards of how it's implemented. I don't want to expose the innards of how it's implemented. I just want to expose the private word and function. Internal. And it has at the beginning a color map descriptor T. And we have a color map descriptor internal T there, which is the descriptor, but we return just a color map descriptor. So desk.params, yes, desk.descriptor, and then we return desk.descriptor. Here's a color map for the sprite rendering. Is selected true if we selected, is shaded equals true if we are shaded. Very, very logical, these ones. And BG color, the color to blend to. Warning, there is only one descriptor. Okay. Again, we can implement more in the future. Right, what do I need in here? So I need stud bool, you're just making me jealous now, talking about curries. And also gcontext/gcontext.h, because that's where the color T comes from. Okay, this function here now needs to be prototyped. Oops, prototypes, not deleted. Copy. Amusingly, my C key has actually been rubbed off in the past about 15 years. It is possible that I may use copy rather a lot. Although amusingly, it's the V key isn't. So that's kind of interesting. And we also need the things in here to have other things. We need studint in there as well. And we need the gcontext in there. We don't want studint, I don't think. All right. And end if. So that's our color map. Now I need to define this thing here, which is the color map entry, which is the void star. Void star color map entry. Void star. Ah, how do you do this? Is it like this? I think that's the right one. So you might think that you could just define this as a void star, but we have to define it as code because it's in the code block, and that matters for when relocations are done if you were to do them in modules. It doesn't matter in this case because we're doing it inside an user mode application, and we're not using relocatable code, which has code elsewhere. But it does matter for the relocation table. Oh dear, yeah, that's kind of fun. Now, I suspect this is not going to work, but we'll have a look. So we've got color map, user shim, and color map we need to include now. Color map I've included, user shim I've included, and color map. Okay, but we're not going to do anything with it, we're just building them. Undefined symbol. How does it work inside CMunge then? Because it definitely... Oh! It isn't defined when you're not linking them. No, this is an objasm call. This should be what... I'm confused. I'm very confused, actually. I thought that was right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go and find a module, and I'm going to go and find out what code it generates. /projects Riscos modules. Oh, actually, we've got some modules in here, haven't we? Which ones use generic veneers? Something must use the generic veneer. Vector trap doesn't. Oh, vector trap will have the code in though. So if I go into Riscos vector trap example, there. Riscos ammo. Oh, all right then. Delete oz32/modheads, and then get it just to build it. And then what we can do is we can pinch this bit of code here, and instead change this to modhead. Thank you. modhead. Bing. Thank you very much. Import. Oh, you just import it. Well, okay then. Oh, of course, because then it becomes something that's relied on by the linker. Okay, well, we'll just do that then. In the assembler, here we go. Import that. No, I'm in the wrong code again. I want to be over here. Build. Okay, so the assembly built. Sorry, Dave keeps reminding me that I'm using the terms wrongly. I'm trying desperately to say assembly for the code and assembler for the program, but I'm not very good at it at the moment. Right, so line 18. Yeah, that's a lot of bugs. Oh, I missed a semicolon. Yeah, that's easy enough. And then because that was, yes, all right, we'll just build it. Color map descriptor internal has no members. Color map descriptor, include color map.h. We've got to include ourselves, otherwise we don't have the descriptors we need. Cast between function, going to, yeah, that's fair enough, and that should be a void star. We cast it to a void star there, and then we should fail to link. Yeah, module private word hasn't been referenced, and color map transform. So let's first do the color map transform. Color singular. Would be handy if we could pass multiple colors at a time, wouldn't it? You could pass it the entire palette entry or something. Color equals and pbggr00 to transform. Has been transformed. Color T. This is all assuming that I've actually got the code right, which is not entirely unlikely. Likely. Color equals color Eeyore. That's right. Yeah, 8 characters. Return color. There we are, there's the transform function. And then in our test code, all I'm going to do here is just put void star module TW equals it null. There we are. Build. Global color map entry multiply defined in color map usership, and is that because I included it here like extern? That's because I don't have dependencies set up properly. Okay. Warning cast between front. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. Now we need to actually use this color map descriptor details. We do that by in Sprite, no, Wimp Sprite. We had the code that we commented out, didn't we? And some code up here. We go. Here's the selected or shaded. So color map descriptor color map. There we go. Color map equals color map. That's not actually applying it. It's just getting me the function. All of these parameters, please. Setup, and those are actually all in the right order, so that's good. And then we do color map function equals color map to func, and color map wus equals color map to private word, and set the transform flags. Okay. Likelihood of this working. Come on, place your bets now. Oh, didn't even compile. Oh, because I didn't include the file, the header, did I? Include color map. Undeclared. Oh, only one. Oh, 2 private words, sorry. And what's the other one it got? Oh, that was it. I missed a semicolon there, didn't I? Okay. Right. Now, as we know, the likelihood of things working when we do them is relatively low, but we probably will get a crash out of this, and we'll see what happens. All forms. Oh, it didn't crash. I mean, it didn't work either, but it didn't crash. Color map function and workspace. We did build it, didn't we? Yeah. That's kind of amusing. There's our table. Because they should have inverted in all cases, because that didn't do any differentiation of what the code should do. But it doesn't look like it's actually called it. Pyromaniac debug color trans. So color transgenerate table. Flags 15, table value is that. Doesn't print out anything about the color descriptor. Is that because the code just doesn't do that, or? I'm not sure. Right, maybe that's not the thing to do then. How about we do for sprite %p with flags %x color map %p/%p. Okay, so that's source palette, comma flags, comma color map func, comma color map workspace. Build. Did you build? You built. Good. Render. Interesting. That doesn't look like a very good address for a function, does it? It looks pretty bad as an address for a function, actually. Which is kind of surprising that it hasn't blown up really badly at the minute. Let me go back over here. Oop, nope, that's not what I meant to do. That one there, please. Okay. Is that meant to be ampersand? That's more like it. An actual address in memory would be more useful. Also, the flags are coming out okay there. Still not doing anything different to the sprites though. Are you sure that's how the color map descriptors work in generate table? Viscos, PRM, color trans, generate table. Yeah, so it doesn't actually fully describe it in this short summary. Let's go over here and open it. Right, it says it's just the same as select table, but different. Yeah, okay. Bit 2 is set, the transfer function. Entry routine is in R7. Is in R7. Whoops. Workspace, then transfer function. That's round the wrong way. Workspace, then transfer function. underscore that. Right. Now I expect we'll either blow up or we'll actually get something working. Where's it gone? Oh, what? This one, sorry. Here we go. Blew up. Okay. Okay, so we read from an address. We may actually need to turn on more debugging here. So we're in SVC mode. Stack pointer is there. Yeah, that's fine. R10 has been set up properly. That's got the correct low address. R11 is 0. That's good. R12 doesn't matter. Load R12 with the value of R12. That's not a good thing to do. Okay, let's change that. Yeah, okay. It just needs to be a space that we can store 2 words. And have 2 words. I think I need 4 words actually. LDM IB, read words 2 and 3. Yeah, we need to load words 2 and 3. Okay, fine. So in main, this isn't right. I'm just going to get 4 values of 0 and then do it as ampersand. Like that. Oh, and I need a semicolon there, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay. Well, that doesn't work very well, does it? Reader address 4. Reader address 8. Reader address 4. So apparently this is still wrong. Read the values at the base of the stack. Read them from our word. Our R12 value. Why is R12 coming out as 0? I'm sure I set it here to be my color map module private word there. Looks okay. R12, that's correct, yeah. It's in R6. So that should be okay, I thought. Module private word equals that. So we read the R12 value. The R12 value that should come into here is module PW. Module PW contains this, which is the pointer to this structure, which contains values here. So I'm not sure why it's coming in with the wrong value. I'm gonna have to kill this, aren't I? Oh, it did stop in the end. You know what the easiest thing to do here would be? It would be to call osExit if we're ever entered with. Yeah. On 2.0. Oh, I haven't defined what osExit is. Anybody remember what osExit is? $11. No, not that. 3:15. Okay, we're not doing too badly. I was hoping we'd get at least something working this time, but it's taking its time, isn't it? Let's clear this terminal so we can see what we're doing. And what should happen is we should blow up. Oh, look! It knew what the pointer should be, A660. If we do memory I A660. Oh, look, the value is 0. Well, why? I'm feeling dumb now. I'm feeling very dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 is the pointer to the private word function. Well, we printed out that value in Wimp Sprite here, didn't we? Oh, we didn't print it out here. No, we printed it. Yeah, we print it here. Function workspace. You know, it'd be a lot better if I actually mirrored the actual interface, wouldn't it? So make the invocation mirror the same thing. So there we go. That's what that's going to do. Now if we go into color trans, swap these around so that they're in the right order. Because otherwise I'm going to make the same mistake again at some point. There, right. So now they're in the right order. Probably need to change the header of the prototype as well, don't we? Just got to tweak that so that the header defines them the right way round. Yeah, there we go. Workspace, then function. A little bit confused. We have module private word set properly. You know what? And what I shall do, I shall go into the code here and I shall make it go bang. Mov R0, no, PC, comma, number 0. There we go. Now, oh, sorry, I need to compile it as well, don't I? Better than an assert is a branch through 0. Right. Right, so branch through 0, blah, 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 blah. And procedure. Here's what we executed. I'll come into here and we went, that's in user mode, isn't it? Validate, ooh, validate address did something bad there. That's odd. Oh, and then it got very confused because it was all in SVC mode that it aborted. And so bad things happened. That didn't help me as much as I wanted. Let me instead do a data abort. Oh, 1, number 0, LDR. Oh. I thought that gave me a backtrace immediately. It's a bit strange. Okay, clear the screen, do it. Right, this is what we want. Read from address 0, executing code block. Pyromaniac trace block. I'd say debug. There we go. Run it again. This will give us a little bit more information. Right, so here's what it tried to execute. It got to here, and so now we know that it's died at this one because that's the thing we told it to die at. Yeah, it went into Callus Y, and then Callus Y went into ColorTrans, and ColorTrans went off and did our call to us. And the registers at the time of failure were 00010, so it's black. R12, R12's got a value here, AA664. A664. So memory I, A664 plus 4, 0. What? And what did we actually call it with? A664. No, I haven't assigned module. I haven't signed this entry point properly. Module private word is the address of that. Is that not working? Am I dumb? I mean, that's possible. Let me put that in here. And actually print it. Module PW. Not sure that should have been ampersand, maybe it should have been module worse. Should it just be that? Oh, I'm not having a break just yet. We've got half an hour and then I shall finish. I was hoping to get this into a module as well today. I really was. both of those addresses are the same. That's correct, yes, because it is the same value. And now A6B4 is where it's actually looking at. So memory I A6B4 plus 4, 0. Oh. Yeah. Module private word is not the module private word. It's the module private word pointer. Right. Forgotten about the extra level of indirection in the extra blocks that appear when you do modules. So this time we should crash, but we should have a valid value. Yeah, okay, so what's R1 contain? A6B4, memory I A6B4 plus 4. It still contains a... What? Oh, because I overwrote it. Because I overwrote it here. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I'm sure it would have been fine. So, yes, if you're confused as to what's going on here, that is absolutely fine, because I think I'm completely confused as well. Right, let's get rid of our debug code and rebuild it, and now we'll have a fake module. Hello, Ryan S-Linkter. Something like that. Are we going to be able to draw something? Oh, let's have a see what we got. Oh, look, look! Things have changed colour! So, huge amounts of debug, yes, but things have changed colour, so that's good. That took way too long. Right, take out the debug here, we don't need that. And then what was the other bit I need to take it out of? I need to take it out of the car. It's in Wimp Sprite here. Oh, not here. This one here. So, okay, build that, and then I haven't put debugging code. Not present. There we go. Pick up debugging code. Stick debugging code into Wimp Sprite. So it doesn't do anything. Yes, we've still got some stubby code in there. Build. Right, let's clear the screen. Echo 12. Now run. And it's quite a bit slower because it's having to go through a slow transition to do the color transforms. But it is working. Now what we need to do is make it actually do the right thing, which is a little bit more difficult, but not too much. So what we do here is if, so params here, if we look at desk params is selected, desk.params.is selected, right, Now, oh, I'll put space in there. That's stupid. SA. Oh, that is awkward because it's going to be SA for shaded algorithm. Cell A. There we go. Right, now where's my... Not that one. That's not the window I wanted. That's CMunge. Don't want that either. There we go, Riscos Pyromaniac. So here we are. So the selected algorithm is just at the moment inverted. So let's do that. Invert. That's the only one we've got. I'll do this as a case. No, that's not how you write it. It's a switch, isn't it? Switch. Case. Cell A. Invert. There we go. And then we want one for the shaded side. Yes, this isn't going to be efficient. I'm just reminding myself that this isn't going to be efficient. Maybe I should also call it grey rather than shade. But it doesn't matter. Shade. Algorithm. Shatter. Shatter. No, that's not what I wanted. What I want is, if it is selected, then switch based on select algorithm. If shaded shade algorithm this will be share. Right, let's pick up our shading algorithms because we know we just love them. Right, so here's the fun we have. So we've got different shading algorithms here, which are just so exciting. Whee! Pick them up. Put them down. Okay, so we're not going to have an invert shading because that isn't shading. What we are going to do is do a grey blend. So grey blend. We'll use the same naming scheme because that makes sense. And we'll do uint 32T R equals, oh, it's not called RGB in here. RGB would have been a good name actually. RGB replaced with color. Replace all. Again, there are much better ways of doing this. But we're just getting something that works, and then we can later do the things like optimization and things. This is blend 3/4 towards light grey, which is kind of like the original algorithm if I remember rightly. And then we will build the color back up again. In fact, actually what we do here is we do this up here. There we go. Yeah. So now we don't need these extra braces. We can just put the break in there. There we go. Grey blend. Blend. case grey. Just grey it. Grey and fade to grey. Yeah, that looks interesting, doesn't it? And then background blend, case, double A, because it's shade algorithm. It would be Charles. Mr. Select Style faded color. If we don't have a background color, well, that's not a thing we've got anything about at the moment. Background color equals, what was it in? It was in params, sorry, desk.params.bg color. Desk.params.bg color. Calculate a weighted grey value. Ooh, we've got a new variable turning up there called total. And another one called grey. And a third one called grey scaled. I have forgotten how this works, I'm afraid. So I'm sure it makes sense. I'm sure it's correct. I just don't remember how that works. So yeah, I'm guessing that this one is yeah, just get a grey value based on a couple of weightings with a what do we call it? Round up rounding bias. Make that into a value times 69. I'm sure that makes it some useful number, and then we do some more weighting here for the blend to the grey to the background color. So it becomes not a grayscale but a background color scale. That's the intent anyway. Put some semicolons on this because we didn't have any semicolons in the Python code. So that's the other thing about writing things in Python. You can try out stuff like this far easier than you can when you're doing it in C, or the assembler code that is the equivalent of this, because this was originally all in assembler in Select, because some of us are idiots. Maybe not idiots, but we didn't. This should be fast, I know. Return color. If I put some L's on the end of things there? No, I haven't. That should break there as well. Move that there. Color equals that. And then return color. I've almost certainly missed some semicolons, and I haven't defined these values. So we need to go and define them in here. So invert is not a thing. Grey blend is one. Grey is another. And then what was the other one? Background blend. So semicolon. Select algorithm. And then a shade algorithm. And if you're looking at this and thinking, oh, this could be a heck of a lot more efficient if you put special custom functions for them and things like that. Yeah, it can be. Just not doing that right now. Just get it working, and then we can think about optimizations later once we've got something that works. Don't need those type defs anymore. We do include ourselves, don't we? We do. Good. So this transform now should be doing the right thing, and we'll set these to defaults, obviously. So cell invert and cell sha gray. Gray will do, yeah. I can't remember what the Riscos 4 one was. It did something special with grays and things. Build didn't work. Oh, I need to fix that in the bloody compiler. It's annoying. And then 83. What's my next one? Oh, missing semicolons. Yeah, all right. Expected semicolon or something full switch. That looks okay. Inventing grey. Oh, I haven't got a grey in here either. So let's just do uint 32t grey. There's also the random debate about whether grey should have an A or an E. I never know. Inventing BG color. I want to. Oh yeah, all right. That. Annoying. I'll move it inside the brace, I think. That calculate bit should go here. Oops, here. And that should be uint. Actually, these should be colors, not uint 30. Actually, no, only some of them should be colors, because some of them are operating on things as numbers. Are we done? Oh no, I've missed my semicolon as well. And US English, it's the A version. Okay, that also explains why I prefer the E version very slightly. Okay. Likelihood of this working pretty low, but yeah. Ooh, would you look at that? Definitely did something, didn't it? I mean, it looks pretty awful, but it did something. Cool. All right. So that's using the grey. I mean, maybe I should fill the background with a grey color so you can see what effect it actually has. Yeah, we'll put a grey background behind this. Where's the rectangle? We should be able to do a rectangle fill, shouldn't we? Oh no, I want to test all forms. Here we go. So we do graphics to rect fill for graphics to graphics over the 96, 4. What's 32 off that? That's 48, 448, I think. What I should really do is 128 minus 32, 480 minus 32, and 128 plus 128 times 4 plus 32, and 128 plus 480 plus 128 times 4 plus 32. Right. That may not actually be the way that you call rectangle fill. Apparently it's not. Apparently that's not how you do it in the slightest. Oh. I thought we had a G context in here. Oh, we don't. We don't actually create a G context. We just use the types from it. Well, that's a bit weird. I will go and just make it draw a rectangle. Oh, I want to use G context. G context underscore T star G context equals G context for init VDU2 probably still wrong. G-context has no rect fill field. How about fill rect? Right then, right. Oh, rectangle fill, of course. Oh, I need to get a color as well. That also makes sense. Rectangle fill, give it a color. OX DD. Oh, that's about mid. The grey 1 is DD. I believe it is anyway. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'll just make that one on the end here because it's then 2 coordinates. Oh no, that is not. I missed a 0. Oops. And apparently this is minus. And that should be plus. And that should be minus. Okay, fine. Rebuild that. That was somewhat harsh, wasn't it? Let's try again. Oh, no. Screw it. Plus 1 to 8. No, that one's correct. It's not the X, it's the Y that's gone wrong. I want Y plus 1 to 8 minus times 3. Because that's the bottom, it's the bottom corner. Right, so we just rebuild that. So those are grayed out and those are grayed out and selected. Wow, that looks ugly. All right. Let's change the blending type. Where's that? It's in here, isn't it? It's, yeah, in here. So rather than grey, let's make it grey blend, shall we? Oops, no, copy, grey blend. It would also be nicer if we had a more colourful sprite. Oh, FF9. FF9 would be good, wouldn't it? Because that's a sprite. Where is the sprite being found? I can't find the sprite. FFF. FFF. There it is. So I couldn't see it in the slightest there. Grey is the only colour you need in the Scottish desktop part. It's a horrible palette, is the whole thing. Right, let's clear the screen. Echo, oops. Echo 12. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, that's pretty awful, isn't it? That's using the grey blend. So that's the faded out version and that's the selected version. So yeah, it seems to be doing something. Not well, but it's doing something. Yeah, but I don't think that's pretty decent. I mean, I really hate that inversion thing. But well, just reminds me, what exactly, because here, if we look here, that's the background blend. That's selected always goes into selected version. That's not what we do normally, is it? Blend to the selected colour, surely. Oh well, doesn't matter. But background blend is the other one we haven't tested. So let's put that in now. I've lost the code already. So this would become an option to the command line tool as well. Background blend. Like that. Build. Give me the thing again. Successful, thank you. Not sure that looks right. Not quite sure that's right, but okay. Yeah, I don't think that's blended it towards the background colour. Ooh, have we set what the background colour is? Probably didn't actually set what the background colour was. In main. Oh no, we set it as DDDD. Okay. All right. Well, that's something we'll have to look at next week, I think. I had hoped I'd get it finished and get us to a module today, but spent a lot of time faffing around trying to get that color transformation code working. We'll have to have a look at it next week. No big deal. I hope it was interesting so far. Anyway, and we've got like something useful out of it. So it's doing the transforms and the like. You can see it's actually doing things. Maybe not the right things. That's very weird. That I'm not sure about that one. May need to have a think about it. But yeah, because that's faded. That's selected, faded. It looks like it's blending towards black, not towards this color here. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. So this is Wimp Sprite Create 0 and 192. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. That should be 192, 192. The background color should be grey. Oh, XDD. Sorry, we should actually make it the right color. I think DD is the right color. I'm not actually sure now. Right, there we go. That's what's gone wrong. We were actually using the wrong background color. Right, so that's that. And we're currently using the select algorithm. Shaded, select, shaded and selected. That's more like it, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably better. I spent a lot of time trying to get the blends for the blend for the shaded color come out right, because if you want to use a black background on your windows, as you might if, say, you had a window that was styled that way, Hexen for example, it would look awful. And so that was the main driving factor, and the fact that at some point people may want to have different coloured window backgrounds, as has been the case as people move towards dark mode. And so I was trying to make the whole system able to handle this a lot better. I mean, it wasn't perfect because there's a lot of things there, but that was the driving thought, was the WIMP should not be enforcing the colour schemes that are used by the user. It should be allowing you to use particular colour schemes and it handle it. That's basically what it should be doing. So I spent quite a bit of time to work that one out, and I think that's probably a reasonable one. I think we can have a quick check actually. Oh, I'm not even sure this is going to work, is it? Here we are. So, new window, please. Doesn't matter. Give me an icon. Actually, can you create me a? Oh, I don't have one for a. Doesn't matter. Right, give me text. Give me indirected with a sprite. File FF9. Text is text. There we go. Right. Oh, I need to not vertically center it. There we go. All right. So we got the thing there. Now, if we go and look at the different combinations, we have where's shaded gone? Select. Do we not get? Do I not have the options to be able to select and or change the button types then? Did I not do one for faded? Surely. That's confusing me now. Oh well. Radio is what I want there. So that is what happens in select make it goes. It heads towards the background color, but doesn't invert it and darkens it if I'm rightly. But I can't seem to make a shaded version. Why can I not make a shaded version? Maybe Format X doesn't do that. I'll probably need to find something else that will do it, which will probably be painful. Old work. Old. Where's old gone? So many things in here that I just keep dumping things into. Apps. Oh no, apps. Program, sorry. It's programming things. Templates. Winid it'll do. Right. Do we actually have four selections? No, that's not it. Text and ESGs. No. Thought I might have one there. I'm looking very sad. Oh, that's very strange, isn't it? Oh dear. Camera. Slap it. Slap it again. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, it's turned. Oh, has it died? It may have died. It's usually a very reliable camera, but of late, it was a very reliable camera. It seems to have sort of gone a lot less reliable. I don't know why. Oh well, doesn't matter. Right, where were we? We were here, weren't we? Examples. No. I thought I had a file that had the general examples. Yeah, there's some examples of how it fades and how you get what it looks like in a background, and then there for the different colorings and things, which is really important because you want it. If you've got a background that's red, you want it to come out that way. Yeah. Yeah. So that was it, and I can't seem to make this. So let me just save this as. Did that save? Yeah, there it is. Drop it into WinEdit. Select. Selection. Properties. Details. I want you to be. Where's shaded gone? Why can I not configure it as being shaded? Oh well, I'm not going to care anymore. I'm sure one of the other editors could do it, but sadly, template. shaded. Update. There you go. So if you compare that one to that one, yes, they've got slightly different icon shapes to them, but why are they different? Not sure. Did we change it at some point? Don't know. Somebody asked what's best template editor. Whatever you like is what's the best one. I've been very, very happy with FormedX, but then I hacked about so much with Formed to make it work. So anyway, it's done a good job with that. I'm surprised we changed the sprite though. I mean, that's because that's got little blocks on it, and this one's got the little pallety thing on it. Yeah, well, not going to worry. I don't remember us doing that. Andrew says you've Wined for years because it left it because it had lots of bugs, and the icon dropper broke completely in the end. Isn't Wined open source now though? Or WinEdit's open source, so could actually be fixed. Although I think it's another Riscos lib one. Don't know. Anyway, so that's what I was aiming for. Was trying to get to that sort of state. We need to do the selection in a different way, so that's going to be something that we'll need to work on. But otherwise, something's working, which is quite interesting, really. Right. Sorry, I was off screen because I was leaning to the side. So we've got bits of that working. Let me go and commit it, I suppose. Status. I think we've added a bunch of new files, haven't we? Yeah. C, H, and S. Add test code for add implementation of the color mapping functions. We can now select and shade sprites. They don't look very good, but we can do it. Okay, there we go. I'll leave it at that. Templated. Don't know where I got that one from. Don't know. It's in Toolbox apparently. Oh, textual exports. Oh, that's quite handy. That's what it is. As it says, exports and imports and exports text from template files. Which is kind of handy, I suppose. If you're trying to do translations, really matters. Oh, that's actually quite cool. Lots of icons. Oh, I'm assuming that's one that was used for testing what happens if you put lots of icons on top of one another. Yeah, CC-res is yeah, something of an issue, isn't it? I suspect it was, yes. At some point, it would be really nice if CC-res actually worked on Linux and I could build it and things, but I haven't gone back and spent the time with it. Maybe we should do that. I know you tried quite a while back, Dave, sorry. Because CC-res would make a good addition to the build environment, just to be able to deconstruct and reconstruct sprites, templates. Sorry, glass. Yeah, I never really used glass. Straylight were they were a bit ahead of their time, really. Sorry, not that one. Ooh, that's so ugly. Yeah, that is a pretty nasty set of colours. Yeah. Tear. Oh gosh. Tear off menus. I'd forgotten about this. That they did this quite a bit, and it was quite cute. Although it did mean obviously re-implementing a bunch of the Wimp. Not particularly difficult, I realise, but still. Fold? Oh, how cool's that? Isn't that as a proof of it actually being a not terrible idea? I think it was pretty cool. I do remember looking at this prior to Riscos Limited things, but it was so... you had to do so much to make it work. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Right, so we have some icons, as you can see, that are being rendered properly. I was going next week to do full icon rendering, so text plus sprites, bordering, filling, and all the rest of it. But since we haven't finished with this, and it's still a bit bleh, we're going to have to finish that work off. So next week we'll be doing, hopefully, the final part of the sprite rendering. Might even change the inversion color and get that working. And hopefully we'll get, oh, excuse me, somewhere with making it a module as well. Is there anything I can say we've done on the tick boxes? Not sure. Let's have a see. cd.riscos status 64 status, because I'm trying obviously to keep the status up to date every time we do something, as you know. It'd be really nice if other people, when they've produced things in 64-bit or just C versions of things, would let me know, or I can give them access to the repository so that we can actually keep track of stuff. I have asked Riscos Open on the 64-bit forum whether they've got any details of the territory manager, so we can actually like see it and have it built and make sure it works in 64-bit and stuff. But they haven't come back to me. And Steve Revel still hasn't done anything about making anything of the BBC Basic available. So we're a little bit stuck on that. Because so let me do this first, then I'll do my little bit of a rant. What is this? This is sprite render, isn't it? Render. There we go, sprite render. So rendering shaded. I haven't proved it's working in 64-bit. We have got it working in 32-bit, and selected and shaded. Can't do sizing. We don't have color mapping yet, and we haven't done clipping. But we got those done, so that's quite good. So I'll just status that. Yeah, commit one's A. Update the Wimp Sprite Rendering to show progress. We can now do shading and selection. Partially, not complete because it still doesn't work in high depth, but it's there. Right, so as I was trying to say when I was getting myself distracted. So we still haven't got a working basic for 64-bit. And as you may remember, I played with using PicOC so we could use C-type operations, and I ported a few other languages and nothing really felt right. When I originally did this stuff, I went and ported the Richard Russell version of BASIC. And it was a very rough and ready version. But because it was basically basic, it was at least useful. And I had implemented system calls with sys, so you could call swise, but I hadn't done much else. and it only loaded its own version of the tokenized files, and it wouldn't load text files at all. So last night, yeah, I think it was last night, I added support for reading text files, supporting the BBC Basic format files, and being able to handle text load and text save as well, plus fixes for a number of bits and flag operations. So if we go to shell.riscos.online here, and so this is 64-bit. Sorry, this is 32-bit, sorry. But if you have a look in the 32-bit in the examples directory, if you can type, you'll see there's a number of things here. There's enum tasks, which will enumerate tasks. Just have a look here. See, there's some of them are basic, some of them are basic text. So read sysinfo, we'll call the read sysinfo calls to get different information. Swic is a SWI decoder, so os read C, for example, like that. Ooh, can't type. Swic. There we go. SWI converter. It converts that to things. Or you can give it a module, so you can do task manager. Yeah, like that. Very, very simple and stuff. So that's the 32-bit version. If we switch over to 64-bit, ba-ding. So now we're in 64-bit, going to examples, and in here we've got example things, and you can run them. So enumerate tasks runs that. List DAs, sorry I didn't run that last time, but list DAs will list the dynamic areas. Swic will convert things, so task manager, there, it'll list the SWIs for that, or os read C. And of course that's by using basic. So start basic takes you into, okay, so if the memory was corrupted, it seems to have a little bad program. I don't know why that is, that's new to me. Maybe I have to look at that one in the future, but right now not a big deal. So if we load say enum tasks, this is a BBC Basic, classic BBC Basic tokenized file. It loads it, it can run it, it can save it if you wish to. It also supports the inline save options, and SWI calls work like this, or you can do this with flags version as well. If I load up Swic and list that, you'll see there's, when it finishes scrolling, yeah, you'll see that we do in here use the somewhere, I'm pretty sure we use the flags form. Oh, I can't remember, maybe it wasn't in here, maybe it was in one of the other ones. There we go, there, os module, we use the flags form to extract the flags as well, twice in fact there, yeah. So that's how we do that. So that all works. The point of this is that because we don't have another basic, and Steve's been taking his time with that because he wants to be paid for it, I just went and got this to the point where it's working. Not good, not perfect, but working. I have no idea how well it will work with many different things, but it does work with like chain sprites. There you go. So you're on top of a mountain, small mountain. Go north. There's a bottle. Get bottle. Get pottle. Hey, what happened there? Did I go north twice? Ooh, ooh! It isn't actually. It's returning back to the top again every time. Oh, there's a bug somewhere in it. Wonderful. Right, well, that's something we'll have to worry about later. It's not actually working. Sphinx is meant to be working because obviously it's one of the earlier programs. Anyway, the point was that was something that I've been not putting off, but just seeing as like, it's not worth my while spending time with basic because we've got another basic coming. And so I wasn't doing anything with it, and I've got fed up with not being able to actually test things on 64-bit as easily as I would like to. So now we can. At least partially, because as you can see, it's not working properly. I'm not quite sure why it's dying there. Oh, that's probably not a good idea because it's massive, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what's gone wrong with it. I'll have to have a look into it. But there's probably an error handler somewhere that's being triggered, and it's just resetting everything back to the beginning or something. We'll have to have a look. But right now, we're just trying to get something working. Let us call that a day. If you like what we're doing, then do obviously subscribe to the channel. Leave some good comments on the Riscos forums if you wish. Sponsor if you want. Thank you very much if you're already doing so. It's really appreciated. And next week we will attack the whatever it's called. Getting the shading right, putting it into a module, and whatever the other bits were in that tick list. At the very least, I'd like to get it working in 64-bit. So that'll be something we'll have a go with. All right, see you later. Have a good Sunday, and hopefully it won't rain on you because it's been pretty miserable today. Still not cold, but miserable. All right, see you later. Bye.